Good evening, Jackie. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, this should be fun. Sometimes the games between these two can be absolutely extraordinary. Let's hope that it's going to be one of those. There's Dave Chisnall. His PDC ranking number 9, ranked 4th in this particular event. Last beat Michael van Gerwen back in February in a UK Open qualifier. He's not taken one since then. I'll tell you more about that later. But Michael van Gerwen, he has looked better this year than ever before. 22 tournament victories. And for me, Chris, he figured in one of the best games that we ever saw on ITV. A classic quarter-final in the PDC Masters when he beat Dave Chisnall 10 legs to 9. He averaged 110. Chizzy lost, averaged 108. It was one of those, and you thought, wow.
Yeah, it was something special. Let's hope this one is equally as special.
Well, if Chizzy gets into the sort of scoring form that he hit to account for A.D. Lewis earlier on, like this, then he could be on fire. In the last 6 legs or so, when he blitzed A.D. Sorry, A.D., because I know you're watching now, but he was averaging about 115.
Yeah, it was 5 legs in 65 darts, 115 average.
Well, that's mind-blowing, isn't it?
One incredible stat is Chisnall's tournament average is actually higher than MVG's. 105.08 is tournament average for Chisnall, and 103.75 for Michael.
Well, Michael he struggled against Gerwen Price, didn't he, in the quarterfinals? But he was, I tell you what, he was good this morning against Simon Whitlock.
Yeah,
that 10-0 and averaging 109.
You had to feel for Simon a little. Only one dart at a double in 10 legs.
Well, he hardly got his toe. Exactly, he hardly got his toe in the water, did he? And he says he's playing well, you know, and you've got to believe it.
56.
But Michael van Gerwen, the green machine, is pretty extraordinary. Hasn't lost a TV semi-final since
43.
Where are we? August 2015 against Wadey in Perth in the Masters over there.
Yeah, he's throwing some grievous bodily darts.
Well, this would be a grievous bodily blow if he could get this, but he can't, so it's going to leave Gerwen a chance for an early, spectacular checkout, returning now needing 118.
And this will be for a break of throw.
It's on. Tops.
11 legs on the spin.
Well, how about that for a way to start? A 118 checkout. Welcome to the game, David. That's what I'm going to do to you.
11 legs on the spin today.
140.
Without reply.
I spoke about that Dave Chisnall win back in February. Since then, they've played each other in various competitions.
57.
And Michael van Gerwen's won all 10.
40
hell of a stat, eh?
Yeah, 42nd time they've... Well, 43rd time today they've met. 1 draw, should have been in the Premier League, and 32-9 in favour of Michael.
And even worse than that from a Chisnall perspective, from those of you who've loaded on a few quid on the outsider, in TV knockout matches, 14-1 in van Gerwen's favour. But you never know, you never know. Van Gerwen in with a big chance, though, of holding his throw, though, to cement the advantage gained by that early break.
Yeah, well in control of this one. Only a 180 might affect the 68.
140 is a bit of a statement. Now, can he do it again? Tops. 2 out of 2, 2-0. How many is that on the spin? 12, is that?
Yes, today.
12 consecutive legs for van Gerwen.
38.
And is Chisnall already looking a little bit downhearted?
Be unlucky 13.
91.
I like...
95.
I like that shot, the switch to the treble 17, because Tum 140 leaves you 170.
12 consecutive legs today, of course. He won 10-0 against Simon Whitlock.
46.
But if you take yesterday into account, then even more. One more.
40.
Yesterday when Gerwen Price got it back to 5 apiece, and then Michael van Gerwen won the decider.
44.
13 legs without reply.
125.
Possibly going to make that 14, or should I say likely.
Very. Treble 19, double 14's an option here.
40. Mark will require 85.
Could go 15s tops, that's the way he was looking.
Didn't even think about going 20 ball.
45.
Basically telling Dave,
138.
you ain't going to do this. And he's right. Not sure why he didn't stay there, and
Michael will
if he would have
require
missed the
40.
treble, would have left him around 100.
He's missed one. Double 5.
Game start on the third
Still
leg.
cleaned it up though, still got the checkouts,
Fourth leg, nine
and
on
leads
front
3-0.
first. Game on.
And we've hardly settled down in our seat. Haven't had a chance to slurp a cup of tea yet.
First 180 of the match goes to Michael. It's 13th of the tournament.
90.
Chizzy stating the obvious, badly needs to get a foothold in this game, or
99.
Van Gerwen, as he did against Whitlock, could just race away.
59.
Brilliant cover shots.
34.
Chizzy needs a bit of the form he had in beating Kim
81.
Huybrechts in
Michael will require 88.
his last 16 game when he avraged close to 113. Needs a bit of that. Oh
Game
dear,
start
there
on
goes
the
another
fifth
one.
leg. Marlando, fifth leg take.
4-0.
Immaculate finishing. He's finished 118, 68 and 88 on the ball.
Break at the end of this leg, so that'll be the time to have a little wander away from the TV if you need to, because don't blink otherwise.
90.
Maybe wander up to the bar if you're in your local, order yourself a pint, but keep an eye on the television because Van Gerwen's in no mood to hang about.
And get yourself a short.
140.
Or maybe a shot. It's all you'll have time for.
Oh, superb again.
34.
Starting to go through the gears. Beautiful to watch when in full flow.
119.
Makes it all look so easy. That's the sign of a special player.
In any sport.
Exactly that.
96. Dave, you require 102.
Well, he can take one here, and he's got 6 darts from here. Went bull double 16, but now having to come down the
62.
board.
Right way to go. Means he can leave a double without hitting the treble. There's going to be huge pressure.
174.
Just because he can.
Dave, you require
What do you say about that? Words kind of fail you, don't they? Right, tops for Chisnall. Well, words which you want to put on television. Another chance. He's got it! He's in the game. And there we have it. Chisnall, an ironic little wave towards the crowd, thinking it was all going right in the practice room. I get up here and I'm getting a bit of a battering, but absolutely vital that he took that leg before the first little interval here. Don't go too far away. Michael van Gerwen in full flow, leading 4-1. And the top seed leads Dave Chisnall 4-1. Van Gerwen with the darts when play resumes. Chizzy badly needed that leg before the interval, didn't he?
Yes, it's not looking good. Nearly 20 points behind in the average. 86 for Dave, 104 for Michael.
57.
Well, it's moments like that, just one little lapse where Chisnall has to really attack.
Yes.
Has to score big now. And he can't find the treble
100.
at last. didn't quite jump all over it as he would have wished, and now may be paying the price. Second maximum for Van Gerwen, cranking his average up over 105.
A little bit more purpose about the Chisnall throw. This is the problem. When facing the green machine, he's relentless. Gives you the odd scrap here and there.
Chizzy's a very heavy scorer, a big 180 man when he does get into his stride, and this is looking more like it. Treble 18, only way you can do it. Oh, yeah, that's a loose one.
Make a note of that.
Yeah. I think Michael could quite believe what he'd just thrown. Right, Chisnall, 121. 17s he needs. He's missed it.
Well, so far, like I said, 118, 68 and 88 finishes, so you definitely fancy Michael for this.
Double 10.
There we go.
5-1.
And another 15 dart leg. Relentless.
Yeah, he's trying to rev himself up, keeping his concentration going, mumbling away to himself as he makes his way back.
Yeah, if there was a slight criticism, which would be almost futile, he does now and again go asleep. Just loses a little bit of focus, switches off.
Not looking too woozy up there at the moment.
No.
He looks very motivated. Yeah. They said as well.
34.
Great minds and all that. Big prize for the winner, of course, here. Was it 100 grand? Oh, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, I'm thinking in terms of the Players' Championship in a few weeks. 30,000 for the winner. Getting all excited and carried away with the financial rewards, which have been vast for Michael Van Gerwen. Currently building himself a new mansion to live in.
Lovely set-up shot. Oh, that's what he's got to start taking out, I'm afraid, to get back in this match.
Double 4 for 6-1, first to 11. And it is already looking worryingly as though the game is up for Dave Chisnall.
Average climbing up to over 105 now. There you go.
119.
Brilliant cover shots. And look at those averages. Check out percentages are right in Van Gerwen's favour as well.
85.
Almost resigned look on the Chisnall face.
6 out of 9 on the doubles.
Lovely finishing.
Chisnall's got to find big scores and big finishes and take the little crumbs of an opportunity when they arrive.
Yep. Russ Bray, the referee, calling out the scores. He's heading off to home in Cambridgeshire when this game's ended. And I don't think he's going to be hanging about too much, is he? There goes another brilliant checkout. 156 and 7-1. Just superb. Averaging 107. Well, that's his first maximum of the match. 7 from 10 now in the finishing department for Michael. Finishes of 118, 68, 88, 80, and that fabulous 156.
The crowd want to see Chizzy on a run. Well, he got the first 5 and another 140 to add to his 180.
First to 11 this one.
84.
Another break after 10 legs.
96.
To have any chance in this match, he has to win the remaining legs of this session. Go into that break, 7-3, regroup,
28.
come out firing.
85.
Oh, he's got the treble 15 for tops. Now double 10. Oh, good though. Good check out. 12 darter from Dave Chisnall.
You're being forced to
60.
constantly find 12 dart legs. It's almost an impossible task.
How much he needs that. Oh,
Dear.
that's bad luck.
Isn't that always the case? Just when you don't need it.
Followed the second, needed the 140, whacked the barrel.
Well, that's a 60-60 start from Michael, so Dave does have a big chance. It's a bit low in the 60. Oh, that's a fabulous start. Now has the throw in this leg. Just has to hold on to it.
That's not too shabby, is it? Has the throw, but that's the response that you get. A 170 from Van Gerwen.
84.
Just forcing errors out of the Chisnall throw. Oh, 9 of those leaves tops. Oh, that's unlucky.
21.
He's in touching distance. Break at the end of this leg.
100.
Chisnall hanging on in there, but, well, you'd put your money on Van Gerwen to get this.
Ooh.
Needed treble 17 for double 18.
That's the first combination shot I can remember him missing.
97.
Crowd rooting for Chisnall. He's missed it. Double 12.
Oh,
85.
the wire.
Michael, you require 60.
Tops then, 2 darts at it. Only 1 required. 8 doubles out of 11 for Michael Van Gerwen. He only needs another 3 legs and he'll be into the final. He's averaging close to 104. And poor old Dave Chisnall just isn't really in the match. 8-2 down at the break. Concludes the second semi-final between Peter Wright, who was last year's beaten finalist, pushed Michael Van Gerwen close, and he's up against Phil Taylor, who's been throwing really well here this weekend. That's one to look forward to. Looking as though the winner of that's going to be facing Michael Van Gerwen. He leads 8-2. Chizzy has quite simply got to play out of his skin from here on in. Anything you can do, I can do likewise.
A fabulous response. Struggled to find his range after the break. I think Dave's throwing a little quicker than we normally see.
Well, he's missed his 6th one there and he's annoyed.
35.
Yep, on a potential 9. That's better, a bit more deliberate, Dave. There we go.
Well, that's the throwing of which he's capable, and he's on a finish. He'll have first tuck at it. And that's not a great response from Van Gerwen. Chisnall then poised.
Possible.
Double 12.
11 dart leg. Marker. Pulled inside. This would hurt.
Oh my goodness. Double 5.
125. David required 12.
Read his lips there. I think he said, "What was that?"
Double 6. Well, he had to get that, didn't he? 8-3 now. Van Gerwen still needing another 3. Match average of 106 and rising. His 4th 180.
Like a cup of whatever coffee he had at the break. It's come out absolutely firing.
90. 98. 60.
Yeah, for me, throwing in a little bit too quick. Almost getting drawn into the Michael van Gerwen tempo.
134.
Stunning cover shots again from Van Gerwen.
83. Michael
He's on a finish.
89.
Again, keep saying it, possible 11 dart leg. He'll have another go at double five.
And this time he gets it, a 12 darter. Magnificent darts. You watching this, you can but wonder at the brilliance.
Finishing's been absolutely incredible.
9 out of 13.
118, 68, 88, 80, 60, 156, 89.
40.
But when he went to the Ali Pali the last couple of years,
60.
he found on the day that Gary Anderson was the inspired man. Gary, who wore glasses for the first time on the stage last night and was eliminated. Barney, it was Barney, wasn't it, who beat him
This
in
year.
the, what was it in the semis or the quarters, I forget. But he beat him this year.
Quarters, I think.
135.
I said earlier on, it must burn into him every time he gets introduced as former champion of the world.
121.
Until he looks at his back balance.
86.
Well, that'd be a consolation, admittedly. Double 16. And he's now within a leg of a place in the final. 10-3.
Back-to-back 12 dart legs.
Wow. He says not for the first time. Brilliant. Just brilliant. His 5th maximum. Might be a steamrollering, but the crowd are just loving the sustained brilliance of Van Gerwen.
Average just a smidge under 110 now. Look at that.
He wanted that 9 darter, didn't he?
60.
Was he distracted by something in the crowd, or was it anger at missing the treble? Bit of both, maybe.
66.
More.
All of the above.
Yeah, more fed up at not finishing with a absolute grandstand.
Could leave 170. That would be the way to finish in a grandstand.
130.
Too good for that.
130 remaining.
Well, and that would be for 3 12 dart legs since the break.
Michael, you require
It's more likely he will hit it than miss it.
He's got the first part of it. Oh, he's missed one.
Well, he forced for the treble. Oh well, I'll just do that.
Just wang in the treble 17 just to leave it.
Poor leg, John. Poor leg.
113 darter.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Consolation.
Yeah, he's thinking, what on earth did I have to do? And that's it. It's all over. In double quick time, Michael van Gerwen with a match average approaching 109. A brilliant checkout rate of 11 out of 16. Poor old Dave Chisnall, only averaging 95, never really got in the game. Like so many others, he has been steamrolled. Van Gerwen now facing either Phil Taylor or Peter Wright, has won his semi by 11 legs to 3. What a performance.